Olugbemisola is an old friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Lockdown Live, and Rachel and Sister Bumi.
Gold digger.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in today. You need some photos.
Did you take a photo? Maybe you didn't post it.
No, I've got photos of it. To be honest, the thing I won't lie to you, I baked the cake, but I wasn't so proud of it. So that's why I didn't post any of it.
But it tasted nice though.
It tasted nice, but wasn't the best cake. For the first attempt at baking. I think it was a very good effort.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So but I didn't want to post it.
So are you gonna still bake?
I'll bake, yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
When are you gonna bake?
I'm not committing myself. I'm not gonna commit myself live. But I definitely will bake. Hi Michelle Manning. How you all doing?
Hi Michelle.
Mrs. O. Good to see you. Oh my God. Wow. We miss you guys. We miss you guys already.
Yes.
Usually it will be a weekly thing, but
our Sundays have been different.
Yeah. No, Sundays have been different. It's amazing how doing something for some time, and then obviously it's become part of almost like a staple, part of your life.
It's a habit, isn't it? It was a habit.
And then you just cut it over. We just stopped it in that way, and coming back, it's been really good. But I promise that coming back in this way, once a month, would allow us to bring a whole lot more substance, a lot of energy to it, and also value as well. So we're hoping that we can keep this going. But please, encourage us by turning up, but also by sharing. By sharing and getting other people to jump on as well. We're live on YouTube too. Hello there on YouTube.
Hello.
Yeah, good to see you all this new year.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Hi, Tolu.
Hey, Tolu. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, good to see you all. Okay, right. Now, so this session today, the first of the year, and generally in January, all through the month of January, people are busy setting goals, making plans for the year, and we thought, okay, well, let's see how we can enhance that or add to that conversation, and we thought we'd start off from more or less an interesting perspective, really, because I'm aware that there are quite a lot of people that were, and justifiably so, affected by 2020. So you're asking yourself the question, what's the point? What's the point of setting goals anyway? What's the point of having plans when something totally out of your control can mess up your plans? Some people plan to get married last year. Some people might plan to start their business last year. Get a new job,
go on special holidays.
I'm telling you, all kinds of things that people had set out in January 2020. But of course, for a lot of people, that didn't happen. So then you're probably asking, okay, so what's the point? Why set goals when you don't really have control over that? And that's a conversation that we want to start off with today. It's part of it. Hey, Shubs, good to see you. Yeah, so that's part of what we're talking about today. And then of course we want to talk about the one big thing, the one thing that you hope to achieve this year. So maybe it would be great to actually just hear from you guys your thoughts about making plans and setting goals. How do you guys feel about that generally?
Have you set any goals or plans for this year? Do you usually set them, or do do you not? Or is it something that you started years ago and you stopped? Or has 2020 really affected you and you've decided that you're not going to set any goals for this year?
Yeah. So yeah, let's hear from you. You know, if you're one like myself, you know, for quite a while, I think for me, I never used to sort of set goals in any sort of meaningful way. You know,
That was
it's
a long time ago, isn't it?
yeah. You know, so it yeah, a long time ago, true. But the reason why I never used to set goals at the time, obviously, was that I just, you know, I didn't want to be disappointed,
Mm.
you know, and and that I think a lot of people would agree with that. That is one of the reasons why. Hello, people. This is we are.
Thank you, Lisa.
This is
Thank you,
this is
Shiki.
serious conversation here. Okay, so keep these comments private and send them. Yes, we appreciate all your fire and things. But let's talk about goals, okay? Yeah, I've always said goals because you can still grow in the midst of.
The pandemic.
That's
Someone
true.
said that the pandemic affected their goals last year and has affected them this year as well.
Already.
Mm.
Wow. You know, I mean, come to think about it, I think for me, last year, you know, what were the sort of goals that we set last year that we didn't actually have? Did we plan on traveling last year?
Well, it was a UK holiday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a UK holiday last year, so that wasn't really affected. You know, but I'm aware that quite a lot of people who feel this way. You know, I mean, for many different reasons. You know, people sort of think about plans as an illusion. You know, because it's not. It's not the reality. You are hoping that this would happen, and someone, a management guru, said that hope is never a strategy. You know, some other people don't set goals like myself in the past because they don't want to be disappointed. You know, and that is true. You know, because at times you set these goals, you know, things happen out of your control, and you just, you know, you get disappointed. But then if you don't set it, it's almost like, yeah, okay, well, I didn't set any, I had no expectation, so I wasn't disappointed. You know.
But I think also, I mean, I guess some people probably don't set goals because they don't necessarily see the value in setting goals. And actually finding the time to set goals.
Yeah.
You know, finding value in actually setting aside time to actually set some goals.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Lisa said, and this is actually true. I think we can relate in that, you know, you set personal goals, and by end of quarter one, you know, you've kind of dropped them. You know, it's interesting. In fact, I remember, I mean, I was thinking about this actually last night. You know, when you are dozed off in the study. You know, so and I thought to myself that this is interesting. You know, that last year we were having some of these conversations. You know, and it's almost as if, you know, so you make up your mind that, look, I'm going to change this stuff, but then somehow, subconsciously, you kind of revert back to what is what the whole normal used to be, because that's the comfort zone. That's, you're comfortable in that zone, you know. So a lot of us, like myself, I think for me this year now, the idea is, yes, I set goals, but and we're coming to this, so I don't want to jump ahead of myself, you know. But the idea is, you set these goals, but then there has to be a way to measure them regularly, you know, because whatever you don't measure, you shouldn't expect. You know, so a lot of us, so we set the goals and then we go to sleep, and then in November, we pull out the note. December, yeah, we pull out our notes again, and we're like, yes, so let's see how have we done with the goals. Like, you know, it's like you know, in the Bible, when it talks about, you know, the man that plants his seed and goes to sleep, and he doesn't know it grows. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that with making
life.
plans. Yes, you know. Hi, Larry. Larry Lester.
Hello
Simi,
everyone that's
Francis.
joined.
Yes, I
But
too know.
I know. Do I normally? I'm trying to think now. I don't think I normally set goals for like fitness goals
Yeah.
because I know I'm not going to achieve it.
You're laughing, but it's actually not funny, you know. But again, a lot of people are in that place. A lot of people are in that place. You know, what's the point of setting a goal when you know that it's just an exercise in futility?
Yeah.
You know, and that's why this conversation is very important. You know, because again, I can relate. There are certain things that I just won't, in the past, I won't want to touch. But after a while, you know, you're getting older, you know, life, you know, you're like, okay, well, if I'm going to be well rounded, I need to be able to make some progress in these different areas of my life, you know. But it's been real, you know. And the other reason, one of the other reasons why people don't set goals is that it's almost as though when you set a goal, you're fixated on that particular goal. And for those that, I mean, some people's mind work in a fixed way. You know, it's almost like there's a fixed mindset. You set a goal and you just go for it. You know, but then in life is not a textbook experience. You know, you have to be flexible at times. You know, so again, when those people get to that point where they hit a brick wall, they just drop everything. So again, they're disappointed. You know, so there are many reasons why people don't actually want to set goals.
Someone said also there's so much pressure to set goals. I think it's true. If someone asked you, have you set goals, and you haven't set goals, what are you meant to say?
Yeah, you know. In fact, I don't know that you can actually escape it. You know, because in almost every church that I know of, you know, in January, it's as if this is what we all do in January. You know, so there's that expectation that if you don't have set goals, you're not serious. But there's a sense to it that makes sense, right? But I think if you do it without it coming from a place of, you know what, this is I'm owning this for myself, I want to do this, then you're likely not to benefit from it, right? You know.
That's true. Lisa, I feel you.
What?
She said that she's fallen out with Manny because she set a fitness goal, fitness routine to do it every day. She's only done one day, and Manny wasn't impressed.
Oh man.
No, but do you know what? The reason why I don't set fitness goals is because I know the time that I have and the time that I don't have, and going to the gym is not practical.
Yeah.
So I haven't set goals. I haven't ever set goals about going to the gym for many years, because you end up just paying for not going to the gym.
Yeah.
So what I've tried to do is maybe do more walking or something, like either walk up the stairs instead of getting the lift at work and those kind of things, because I know myself. Like even like signing up for like these online fitness things, I don't do it because I'm not sure I can commit to it.
Yeah. Do you know, for those online that are married, I guess at times there are some conversations and some battles that you just you just don't want to bother. You know, you don't want to bother with Manny. Manny, just you know, I can feel you, Manny, right? You know, there are some battles that you don't want to fight because you're like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to lose my marriage over this fitness or no fitness. You know, but when you say that you know yourself, there must be a reason why. Is it because you don't want to set an expectation of yourself and then be disappointed by it, or what?
I'm not prioritizing it, and unless I will prioritize it, there's no point in me setting that goal.
Okay.
You know, because it's not something I will prioritize. So if I don't prioritize it, then I'm not going to be disappointed when I don't live up to it.
Really? So is that because you don't think it's important?
I think it's important, but I haven't found a way of weaving it into normal life, let's say.
Okay. You know, so but if you don't set it, or if you don't have an expectation of it happening, right? Well, think about it. Even God had a plan, right? For everything he created, God had a plan. So if you don't then have a plan for seeing something happen in your life, it's like a farmer who wants to harvest something, but doesn't have a plan to sow seeds, right? So, how does that work? You know, I don't, you know.
There's intention there,
yeah,
but I haven't clarified a goal that is going to get me the desired outcome.
Okay.
So I understand.
Yes. So there's no point me preaching about it.
No.
Okay. No, but I think you know it bears reminding ourselves, you know, because intention. A lot of us have good intentions.
It's not enough. I know it's not enough.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. Intention is not enough, right?
Yeah.
You know. When I think about these things, I think about it in the sense of, if you know, we say, okay, we'll set 5-year goals, 10-year goals, and all that. You know, now I realize that it's not just about how I see it today, right? So whatever it is, if I have an intention, I must be willing to make a step towards it. Otherwise, I might as well not have an intention, right? Because if intention is all you have and nothing is done about it, then what's the point of having an intention?
It's true, but there are many intentions, aren't there?
Yeah.
And so I guess in the many things that I have to do, it's not something I've prioritized.
Yeah.
And so that's why I haven't set a goal in it.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess one thing that we can all agree on. Yeah, well, as in, if there's a way you can.
If there's a way that I can lose weight without exercise, I will set a goal around that.
Okay. It's like saying, if there's a way that I can actually just, you know, make money or be very spiritual without setting a goal around it, I'm going to do it. You know, but I think one thing that is clear that we can all agree on is the fact that we like the end.
Yes.
But we are not willing to commit to the process. Right? So the end being the purpose or the goal or the destination. No, so nobody's disputing that. We're all happy with, you know, we would like to be able to have a, you know, achieve a desirable end, you know, but then nobody is willing to commit to it, you know. And there's a saying, you know, I'm sure that you guys have probably heard this saying before, that those that fail to plan, they've actually already planned to fail. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
So, but how does that?
I'm getting told.
No. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to your neighbor. I'm not speaking to you. It's your neighbor. You know, so touch your neighbor. It's talking about you. You know. So those that fail to plan, right, have already planned to fail. Right. Let's think about that.
Yes. So I prioritize health. So healthy eating. We're there. We're getting there.
Yeah, I like that. We are getting there.
It's the actual exercise bit. Yeah.
And I think some people are also let me not go there. I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, but I like what one American president said many years back. You know, Dwight Eisenhower. I'm not sure I got the name right, the pronunciation. But what he said was that a lot of people focus on the plan, right? Yeah, when people focus on the plan, they actually miss the point, because having a plan is not the real deal. the real deal is the process of planning, right? So think about it this way. The frustration that a lot of people have is, okay, they make a plan and it doesn't come to pass, so because of that, they don't want to plan because they don't want to be disappointed, and all those sort of things. But when you think about the fact that the real deal is in the process itself, because when you are engaged in the process of planning, what it does for you is that it helps you to focus your mind. So take the exercise regime as an example now, right? Now, the reason why you don't plan is because you don't want to be disappointed about not fulfilling the plan and just ripping off the plan.
No, I don't. It's not. I don't think it's that I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, you know that you won't do it. Yeah, but if you engage in the process of planning, right, and you follow the process, I'm not saying the actual plan. The process of planning. Okay, well, what do I want to achieve? How do I achieve it? What do I need to do today to achieve that? Right? Then that is more important than the actual plan itself.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Look at Lisa's question. She said, if we swapped responsibilities for a year, do you think it would be harder for you to fulfill your goals?
No, very good question. I don't think so, though.
No, but do you know what? I think we're different.
Yeah.
Because he's very, I don't know, like a go-getter kind of, before you said anything, he's gone. So I think he would probably manage it. He would manage them. And I guess the things that he would prioritize are different to the things that I prioritize.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it comes in as well.
Yeah. No, and you're right, because that is the attraction, right? Because I'm not you and you're not me, so that is why we don't force these things. I imagine that. I mean, Lisa, even if you swap roles with Manny, he would achieve his health goals. He would achieve his health goals. So I would achieve them. Because of my personality type. So if, and that's actually a very good question. So if it's about personality type, then does that then mean that someone that is not like me cannot pursue and achieve their goals, or should not even be setting goals in the first place? Is that what we're saying?
Well, does it mean that I guess maybe it's more the thinking behind it. Is it the thinking behind it, the mindset behind it, that for me to achieve a certain goal, I have to do something different than for you to achieve the same goal. So like in your mind, so in my way of thinking, the way I'm thinking, I have to change the way I prioritize, the things I prioritize, to be able to achieve that goal. Whereas for you, it's easier to do.
And that's the point. You think it's easier for me to do, but in actual fact, it's not easier for me to do.
Oh no, it's easier for you to do because there are certain things that you would prioritize that I wouldn't prioritize.
No, because I prioritize doesn't make it easier. That's the point. Okay. It's just because I know that I need to do them, and I do them. So I mean, think about it. And you touched on the point, very good point as well. I think we're going in a direction that we didn't plan to, which is okay anyway. You talk. I mean, I'm reading a book about mindset, and the idea is that there are broadly two main types of mindset. There's a fixed mindset, and there's a growth mindset, right? The fixed mindset does the things that are natural to them to do and easy to do, right? But the growth mindset focuses on the effort, right? Which means it's not easy, but I make the effort to do it anyway, right? Now, and I think we can all identify or agree with that, right? Because what we're saying is, if it was easy for me to do, then I'm not growing in that area because it's easy for me to do. I don't think there's anything that I do that comes to me, well, apart from my business.
I don't necessarily mean easy, but maybe easier to prioritize. So like, let's say the exercise one thing, or maybe also because you're older than me. But
I think so. I think so, because the thing is, when you hit a certain age, you're thinking, this body, it has to work by fire by force. You have to make sure that this body carries you far enough. Yeah. So I think so.
So there's there are different things going through your mind when you're thinking about that. Whereas I'm like, I still got time.
Well, you think you have time.
I know.
You think you have time. You know. So good point also. So there are different things chasing us. Yes. I'm running away from the midlife health, God forbid, potential health issues that people do have. And you're like, yeah, I can still have my ice cream, I can do all this sort of stuff, I don't need to work it out, or keep fit. But I'm like, you know what? At this point, I want this body to take me for the next half of my life. So anyway, I think what we're hoping to achieve by having this conversation is that, I mean, we recognize the fact that a lot of people struggle with setting these many, firstly many goals, but then secondly, because you're encouraged again to set audacious goals, big goals, because there's a thinking that, well, if you can just achieve it, then it's really not a goal because it's easy. So if that is the case, then whereby we encourage to do that, as in to just to have many goals and which is good. I think it's good. But I've come to learn that, and this is what we're talking about. What's your one thing for 2021? So maybe before we actually get into this part of the conversation, maybe we should ask the question to you guys: What's your one thing? If you could achieve one thing in this 2021, what would it be?
And so so many of you have said that you've already set goals for the year. So what is the one thing that you'd like to kind of achieve at the end of this year from all the things that you've set? Even for those that haven't set goals, what is one thing you'd like to see of yourself by the end of this year?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at the question? There's a question there.
Where's that?
On Instagram.
Well, here or here?
Yeah, can you see the question mark there?
Oh, right. Okay. There's a question. Actually, quite a few. Okay. What's this? All right. So I'm just checking. No, there's no question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people struggle with goal setting. Full stop. Happy to
muddle through.
Oh, wow. Okay. Set an annual vision board. Is that your one thing? Okay. So, okay.
Lose weight.
Okay. That's your one thing, right? To have a successful blog, writing a post every day.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now that's
365 posts.
Yeah. Yeah. But it also depends on the length of each blog post, right?
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. Anyone else willing to share their one thing? I mean, I remember that when just earlier we're talking about our own one thing, right? So I think we'll share ours with you guys as well. And the reason why this is important is because you see, when we define success, right? We define success as though it is many things, right? But it is actually ideally it should be in one thing that has a sequential impact on many other things. So success is not, extraordinary success shouldn't necessarily be simultaneous, which means, okay, I'm successful at career, work, and all of that. Yes, you should be across, but you should be asking yourself, across all these goals that I've set here, what's the one thing that I could achieve that would affect every other area, right? So someone reckons, okay, lose weight, okay.
So a couple lose weight.
Be better and more disciplined. What does that look like?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Because some of us would like to, if you find the formula for that one, please, you have to come and share it with us on the Blue Sofa. So please, any other one things?
You see some goals that are not specific enough. Yeah. yours to fix windows and to set up shelves in a room by end of Q1.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. One thing. One thing.
What is your one thing that, and at the end of the year you want to see? So, like, I guess, like almost like a vision for the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you adopt it as a strategy, I think it will be helpful because for me, there's a saying that how do you eat an elephant, right? Yeah. So if I can at least get my head around the one thing, then I think I can achieve a whole lot more. In fact, and it's actually also scriptural, by the way. Jesus said to the disciples, he says, seek first, which means there is something that you do first that has cascading impact on the rest, right? Apostle Paul said in the Bible as well, he says, this one thing I do, right? This one thing I do, forgetting all of this and then focusing on this other thing. So the idea is, what is that one thing that I can set my mind on, that as I pursue it, it affects every other area of my life. I can see how someone's fitness or losing weight could, because that could affect your confidence, could affect your career, could affect your health, could affect even your relationship with your spouse, could affect many things. So saying that as one thing, I see how that works out. Someone said,
Bella said run 5,000
wow.
2 times a week. Wow.
5K 2 times a week. Wow.
That sounds like a very good goal.
Yeah. That is actually good.
And Toyin, Pastor Bimbo's book, her Becoming Planner, is really good. Her planner is really good, actually. That really helped me last year and this year.
How come it didn't help you with your fitness goal?
Remember I said that I've stopped setting fitness goals.
Okay. All right. I think that maybe next year this will be my one thing. It'll be my one thing to help my wife to achieve a fitness goal. And I think I can do it. So watch this space. I'll let you know how we get on. Now.
But then without what do you call it? Without setting a goal, I did lose the weight last year as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
Both did.
Yeah.
Leave for me. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I just love you the way you are. Don't worry. I'm very happy. Oh. Yeah. Now, listen to this though. Think about this. Someone said this. He said that the way to achieve success is not by addition, it's by subtraction. Right? So it means that if that's true, it means that wherein we have many things that we're going after, could it just be to find a way to eliminate a lot of other things so that you're left with one that you can really just focus on, that you can achieve, right? So if the goal is to lose weight, some people, are on a diet, they do all of that, which is great. But then when you think, okay, I'm trying to watch my diet, I'm watching my exercising, great stuff. But if I were to be able to focus on one of those things, that I know that if I can even just watch my diet, would that make it easier for me to do some other things, right? So that is the question, and I think that one thing should be something that is within your control. So this is one of the reasons why people get frustrated about setting goals, because last year you set goals, but it's out of your control. But if you're one thing, for a single person, they could think, okay, well, my one thing for this year, I'm going to get married. But I'm not sure about that, because how are you going to achieve that?
You're assuming they're not dating.
Well, but even if you're dating someone, right? You cannot by yourself set that as a goal. You get, or I mean, in a lot of other cases, they're not even dating someone, but then they have a goal to get married this year. When you set that kind of a one thing goal, you put yourself under undue pressure, and at times you end up in wrong relationships because you said, by hook or crook, whatever it is, it has to happen. So you end up with some crooked person, because you want to achieve a goal, But then if your one thing is entirely up to you, whereby you know that if at least I can just do this thing myself, then I can get to where I want to get to. So any other one thing, before we actually share with you guys what are one thing.
So what is your one thing for this year, on YouTube or on Instagram? What is your one thing for this year? Or maybe it's something that you need to think about, but what is the one thing that you could do that will have an impact on every aspect of your life? Yeah. But you said your goals have to be big.
Yeah. No, but when did I say that? No, what I said was that we're encouraged to set many goals and big goals, right? And of course, I encourage that too. Set something that you know that you need to, by yourself, you can't just achieve it. You need to stretch to achieve it. That is growth, So being big doesn't then mean that it cannot be one thing. Yeah, what's that?
Someone said it's possible.
It is possible. Someone I know met someone 2 weeks ago, and they are getting married in March. Well, Bible says that wisdom is justified by our children. So it's not that it's not possible. What will determine is the fruit of that marriage or that relationship. That is what we are talking about. So for some person it works very well. So I think the point is we can't judge the initial the introduction, the intro, or we can't determine the outro by the intro, pretty much, in the sense that because it's happening doesn't mean that it's going to work out. And I pray that it works out that way. So I'm not against it. So of course people do it.
So Femi said financial freedom.
Yeah, so financial freedom. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now think about this. If you think about a domino, right? There's something called the domino effect. So when you think about your one thing as one little or one shift, whether in attitude or a little task, right, that could affect every other thing. I mean, even though we're joking about fitness and all that, I think we've made a shift in our diet.
Yeah.
Which should contribute to a better lifestyle. Yeah. So that is one thing. So we might not be where we want to be, but at least we've made a shift.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what is that that little domino that if you tip it over, can eventually cascade and cause other dominoes or other areas of your life to fall, right? It is proven actually that a little domino can, when you tilt it, can generate enough power to cause a domino about almost twice the size of the initial domino to fall. So which means that there are some small moves or things that you could do that could have much bigger impact on your life, as it were. Bible describes it this way. It says precept upon precept, which means that precept upon precept, line upon line. So if you lay certain precepts, if you do certain things, it could have, you could end up building or achieving the big goal that you're looking to achieve. So So what's your own one thing? Forms. We're talking about it. So perhaps maybe we can actually have it that chat here, even though we've had it before. But then
Okay. So like Toyin, it's to be more organized, to plan, to be better, well, to plan more, I guess. Because there are so many things that there's so many responsibilities I have or roles that I have. And so by being better at planning my time and scheduling certain things, I think I'll be able to achieve them.
Okay. Now, so and that is true. But then the first question that I would like to ask you actually is the things that you have on your plate, are they all things that you should be doing?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think many things, yes. Should I drop anything? I'm not sure whether there's anything that I should be dropping. Maybe I should. Maybe I do need to look at what I'm doing and actually think about dropping something.
Yeah. Remember what we said about subtraction, not addition.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, I feel that a lot of us are under pressure to do a lot more, attend all many meetings, and these are all good stuff. But then should you be asking yourself, okay, should I be here? Should I be making these calls? You know, should I be visiting? And thank God we're not visiting, doing stuff. Well, and say thank God we're not doing some of these things anymore. But the thing is, and these are all good stuff, but should we be trying to do more or looking for ways to do less?
So, so Manny said, my goal is to plan more. It's more to manage my time better.
Yeah.
So it's better time management. And to because I think also, you know, like coming into lockdown and so on. So we've got our weekends. So one of the challenge I have is because I work full time. I work during the week. So on like a Saturday, for example, if I'm not cooking, doing Bethel's hair or cleaning or whatever, I feel like I should be spending time with the children. But there's an opportunity for me to develop myself or whatever. So by me managing my time better or being clear about how I want to use my time, then I can actually carve out some time for myself to enable me to develop myself as well, while still being with the kids, spending time with the kids, doing what I need to do around the house, etc.
Yeah. Now, you know, as you were speaking, something came to mind. You know that in our many years of being married, right? I think that on a domestic level, I think I'm doing a whole lot more than I've done in the past, right?
Yep.
Would you agree?
Yep.
You know, and I'm also, you know, even willing to do more. You know, you guys will be very proud of me on that front. Now, but do you know that even I haven't said that, it doesn't then mean that you then achieve more.
What do you mean?
What I
Because you're
mean-
doing more.
Yeah, because I'm taking more from you doesn't automatically mean that you're achieving more.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? It could turn out to be is that you then fill up those times with some other things that are not as important. Would you agree? I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm saying that it could then be that.
It could be, but I mean, I guess I have certain priorities, so I know the things that I need to do. So the thing about priorities with regards to like the one thing, I do that with my to-do lists. You know, if I have a to-do list and I think, okay, which is the priority, and I do it that way. But likewise at home, you know, I'm always consciously thinking, like before I put on the TV, I know that I've got other things I need to do around the house. So I'm not filling it with things that are not adding value.
Yeah. Okay. So we're still talking about so for you, your one thing would be to organize better, right? And I mean, it's interesting because I don't even know that I know too many people that are better organized than you, right? So I think you're organized, but obviously you think there's still room to do better at it, right? So, but I really think that whilst it's true to organize better, as you've said, but I think it's more of thinking of, okay, what should I do less of, as opposed to what should I do less of, so that I can focus on doing more of the things that I need to do.
Yeah, but I think that's part of it. So even with regards to managing my time, like what I should be doing, when I should be scheduling my like if scheduling, for example, Bethel's hair or whatever,
Yeah.
or what I do or how much time I spend on her hair.
Mhm.
Even like cooking or whatever,
Yeah.
scheduling that properly, so that I am able to do more with the time that I have available, and also scheduling rest, because I don't do that.
Okay. Now, so when we spoke about this earlier, we're talking about the fact that you were doing Bethel's hair,
Yeah.
and you were growing at the same time, because you could listen to an audio book, right?
Yeah.
Whilst doing Bethel's hair.
Yeah, no, I found that, like the amount of time it takes to do hair, Bethel's hair is a lot, So and because in order for me to convince her to do her hair, she's watching something, so I ended up watching it, and then kind of towards the end of last year, I decided that actually I can put earphones in my ears and I can listen to a book or listen to a message whilst I'm doing her hair. So I'm actually getting value out of that time as well.
Yeah. And for me, one of the things that I learned many years ago is that if there are things that I need to do, right, I find a way to add something else. So if there's something that I need to do, but I don't enjoy doing, I find a way to add something to it that allows me to get value from doing that thing. So let's say exercising or taking my walks, right? For me now, it's not just, well, I'm just, okay, let me just, reach a certain number of steps, which is my goal. I'm also thinking, okay, well, whilst walking, I might as well turn it into a prayer walk. Or whilst walking, it could also be a time to grow. So I'm listening to a message, In fact, earlier on today when I took my walk, I listened to like three YouTube messages, in a sense, because that way you can get value whilst doing something that seems mundane, or something that you have to do, not because you enjoy doing it. So for you now, that's this idea of that works. Or even, I think
even whilst I'm cooking,
exactly.
I'll listen to a message, or I'll put worship music on. So not that I don't enjoy it, but just instead of not doing anything, or at least I can gain something whilst I'm actually doing the cooking. So Gold Digger said about the Pareto principle, which is it's a really key thing, which is what is the 20% of things or that you do, or tasks that you do, that will give you 80% of the productivity or results. And I think that's the key thing. And I was listening to a book and it was talking about that again, and actually distilling what are the things that I can do today that are actually going to give me maximum value. And I think also that like sometimes there's a challenge to do everything to 100% as well. You want to do it to the best of your ability, which can often take time, but how can we do it so that we're giving enough to get as a good enough result.
No, definitely. And that Pareto principle is actually the principle of the one thing. So for me now, coming on to my own one thing, I guess the idea of, okay, well, what one thing can I focus on this year that if I achieve it, would have a domino effect on the other areas of my life. I realized that if I can sharpen my axe, and by that I mean myself being the axe now, I will be more effective. So if I can make sure that within sharpening my axe, spiritually I'm sharpened, I'm praying, I'm reading my word, my Bible, and I'm really growing spiritually. If I can, all within this one thing, which is, okay, well, I just want to improve or become a sharpened person, a more effective person, it affects every other thing. I see how that affects my marriage. I see how that affects my parenting. I see how that affects my business. I see how that affects, my overall outlook in life generally. So I'm not chasing many things. I'm just working on myself now. But then you'd ask me, like you asked me earlier on, so but underneath that one thing, then there are other goals underneath that.
There are many goals.
There are many things that fit into that one thing, and that's true. But then, even within those goals, there are other things that also fit into that at the bottom of it. But I'm not. So when I look across all of those things, I'm always looking for one thing that I can do that would help me. So some of you guys may already know that for me, if I don't go to bed within a certain time, it affects my morning. So I realized that actually, people think, okay, well, their day starts at whenever they wake up in the morning. But for me, my day starts from the time I go to bed the night before. That was a revelation to me, to be honest. I mean, I'd always sort of thought about it. But when you think about it, because if I'm able to get to bed within a certain time, it affects when I wake up. And when I wake up determines what I get done in the morning. So that's whether it's my devotional time, my time to read, and whether I'm able to exercise. It even affects the way I relate to my wife, actually, because if I haven't done certain things, I'm grumpy, I'm upset, it just affects everything else. So my one thing then is ensuring that I'm in bed at a certain time. You get that is that little action that if I can achieve it 90% of the time would ensure or guarantee my success. If I can achieve it 20%, what's it called?
80% of 20%, isn't it?
Yeah, it would guarantee me 80% of success, pretty much. The same Pareto principle. So that's the way we need to look at these things. And one of my friends is a pastor. He actually was the one that designed the flyer for this campaign. So we're having a chat about this idea of the one thing, and he said to me that his own one thing this year is to develop a property. I was quite shocked and taken aback by that, because I thought, well, as a pastor, you probably be, going after something more spiritual. But what occurred to me was that it's not even so much the principle of the one thing is not about just sort of everybody arriving at just the spiritual side of things, particularly if you're a Christian. But it's finding a way to ensure that you can focus on something that allows you to build on it. So for him, it might be a case of achieving that will give him the confidence to do some other things. For you, it might be different, but what you don't want to get about, you're pursuing all kinds of things when you should be thinking about how can I reduce my life. When I say reduce my the things I'm focusing on at the same time to something that I know that if I can at least get or grasp this one thing, then I can achieve a whole lot of other things. So having said that, I'm using myself as an example. I want you to think about your goals for the year. Like I'm sure that a lot of us have set goals, and even those that have been disappointed about setting goals before for different reasons, whether it's not being able to disappointments, or not even or the pressure that the perceived pressure of goal setting. If you can find a way to reduce it to one thing that you can do that would help you that will give you the confidence, or that would help you to achieve a lot of other things, you will see that this year you would experience a lot of progress in the many other areas that you were not even so much pursuing as it were. So that's the challenge for January. And I hope that you will look back upon the year and say that it's been a fruitful year, you know. So
that's interesting, actually. So Kumi said that she had a talk, and they said that work from a place of rest rather than rest from work. I like that. I really like that. And one thing in all these goals and everything, I think one key thing is that rest has to be part of it. Recreation, and not being too preoccupied with setting and achieving goals. It's also important to actually have that rest time, have that downtime, have that family time. Because I was reading something, and it said that like there are many areas of our lives. It's like a game where there are 5 balls, and you're juggling the 5 balls. The only thing is that one of those balls is work, and that is a rubber ball, which means if you drop it, it will bounce back. But the other balls, so family, friends, spiritual life, etc., are glass balls. So if you drop them, then they will be affected, irreparably. So it's important to actually take that into consideration. Work or business, it will bounce back, but family, friends, etc., will be affected if we don't spend time actually nurturing those areas of our lives.
No, that is actually so true. And the point that Kumbi has actually given me, these are some revelations here that I need to, build on to further develop this my one thing idea, because it's true. It's evening and morning. Your day shouldn't start at 6 or 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. when you wake up. You should start the night before. So that's actually a good place to wrap it up this evening. Thanks for joining us this January. We have exciting plans and things lined up we already have the sessions for the next 5 or 6 months. Actually, before now we would have done it all together in 1 month, but this allows us to research well. And thanks to our research team, because now we actually have a production team. We have the likes of T-Mac is not here today. We have Jonathan. We have people that on the back end are actually helping us get some materials to make this worthwhile. So tell them about tell our viewers about
next
February.
Week. Not next week, sorry. So in February.
Your own.
So in February. So it's going to be the 3rd Sunday of the month. And we're going to be talking about love. So it's easy to fall in love, isn't it? But how do you stay in love?
So the topic is falling versus staying. Easily you don't need. All you need to fall in love is to have a heart, to have a pulse, but staying in love is a totally different ball game, and nobody prepares for that. So we have some exciting thoughts to share with you. Whether you're married or you're single, it will be very useful for you to have this information, as we engage in this conversation. So we look forward to sharing that with you in February.
So great to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your contributions. We love it.
Thank you. And please share, encourage people to to watch it and just keep it going. Thank you. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.